Hi there, this is Crystal with Steampunk Farms Rescue Barn. We're a 501c3 farmed animal sanctuary in the high desert mountains of San Diego County. I'm here today with Nikki, lovingly known as Kicky Nikki. She's got a little bit of a temper. It made her unsuitable for her previous homes. She had a few of them. She ultimately landed here with us, where we were able to give her wide open spaces, a few donkey companions, and she still displays the Kicky Nikki behavior that we've all come to know and love?
Tolerate.
Either way, she's a beloved member of our family. The soap that I've made in her honor is called Kicky Nikki's Caffeinated Coffee Bars, and I think you can probably tell why that's so fitting for her. Not only is her attitude nicely paired with an invigorating, exfoliating bar, but her coat looks like a really nice latte. The weather out here in Ranchita is a little blustery today. It's kind of cold and it's awfully windy, so I think it's a good time to head inside and get making some soap. Hi there, and welcome to a batch of Kicky Nikki's Caffeinated Coffee Bars. These are a really fun and favorite bar. The coffee grounds are great for exfoliation. They're a little bit rougher than some of the other exfoliants I use in soaps. They're more abrasive than the very finely ground pumice. They're more abrasive than the botanicals when I grind up things like rosemary and thyme. These are probably the coarsest exfoliant that I use. Typically, I already have the lye and water mixed by the time I start the videos. But in this case, instead of water, what I'm using is very strong black coffee. It does some interesting things when it reacts with the lye, so I thought I would put that on camera this time instead of preparing it beforehand. First thing you'll notice is that the coffee begins to melt simply by the chemical reaction that's occurring between the lye and the water. When the lye gets wet, it starts that exothermic reaction, which releases a whole lot of heat and starts to melt the frozen coffee. The reason I start with a frozen coffee is because it keeps the temperature down. Otherwise, the lye on room temperature water, or coffee in this case, gets very close to boiling. This keeps it down more in the mid 100s. The other thing is that the lower temperature really keeps the fumes down. It's almost completely dissolved in here. It's at 109 degrees right now, 110, which is definitely lower than if we had started with room temperature coffee. And let's take another look at the temperature. We're going to let that come down to closer to 100 before we add it to the oils. And we'll bring the oils back here. This is a really simple soap in terms of artistry. There's not a lot to it. There's no mica colorant. The only color is going to come from the coffee and some coffee grounds that I'm going to add in there. The fragrance smells like a simple coffee. There's a little bit of vanilla in this fragrance oil, which is going to help bring a rich brown to what would otherwise be a light brown, but no other colorants, no swirls. So everything's going to be done just in this one container. What I have here is the fragrance oil with coffee grounds already added in here. Give this a quick blend, get everything mixed up. And nothing's going to thicken yet because the lye hasn't been added. Smells delicious. Definitely puts me in the mood for a cup of coffee, even though we're here at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Okay, with all that in, I think we're ready to turn this into soap. that mixing that lye with the oils has started the saponification process, which changes the oils from transparent to translucent. It does look a little less like black coffee and a little more like a latte now. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of decor here. I've got a couple of whole coffee beans. I've got enough for 2 for each bar. The cutter will not go through these, so these really need to end up in the middle of the bars, not straddling bars. I've got some marks made on the mold. That's gonna help me determine exactly where these coffee beans need to go. And that's all there is to Kicky Nikki's caffeinated coffee bars. Let me bring you in close here to take a look at these coffee grounds and beans. So I am going to cover these up. We'll let them sit for about 24 hours and we'll be back to cut them open and take a look inside. So I will see you then. Okay guys, it is time to cut up some Kicky Nikki's caffeinated coffee bars. There you go, guys. This one came out surprisingly well. There are a few spots where there are little air bubbles. I don't even know if the camera's picking that up. It's so tiny. That is because this did come to such a thick trace before I got it in the mold. I wasn't able to squish out every single bit of air, but it's not really creating any hollowness in the bar. Just overall, I'm calling Kicky Nikki's caffeinated coffee bars a 2 thumbs up success. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel for more, and I will see you next time. Affectionately called Kicky Nikki for reasons that are probably pretty obvious to you right now.